What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Football Capital for another Premier League review show. I've got the boys in the building. Steve, the Aussie Gooner, flying high in the top four positions. It's me, KG. Is that who it is? It's me, KG.
It's me.
It's me. He's here. And obviously Rami back again for another pod.
I need a nickname. I feel like I need to name myself something after these boys.
Yeah, I know, bro. He's got Football Capital, the Aussie Gooner.
It's never too late.
The Assyrian Red Devil, mate. Assyrian Red Devil. There you go. But guys, well, what's Kev chatting? I can't hear. But look, guys, we got another Premier League, maybe half a Premier League round out of the way. I mean,
a quarter, a third, half.
Something. 4 games. We did have midweek games as well. But we'll just talk about the ones on the weekend. Like Rami, you were saying off camera, the top 4 were the only team playing. A lot of games being postponed and due to the COVID. But look, Steve, Arsenal, the pre-drinks. We always start with the pre-drinks. We always start with Arsenal. You're all smiles here. Arsenal 4-1 to Leeds United. Hey, but at least it's entertaining, yeah, for the Leeds or whoever, for the Leeds fans.
Entertaining football, Leeds.
Football.
Entertaining everyone in the Premier League. Even Arsenal fans are entertained.
We were entertained in the first round as well, getting 5 on them. You guys were
very entertained in the first round. You guys hit him for worse than that.
Yeah, but look, Leeds United getting done again 7-0 midweek to Manchester City and put to the sword once again. I mean, if Bielsa was the manager of any other club, I think he gets the sack by now. I think he's done worse than Oli. He's done worse than Arteta. He's done worse than the team's Dean Smith and the Norwich manager. He's done worse than these guys, and he's still in a job. I'll get your take on what you guys think about that. But first, Steve, your boys flying high, the young guns, Emile Smith-Rowe, Martinelli, and Saka getting the job done week in, week out for you. Obviously, new captain in Lacazette. I'm not sure. You can maybe tell me, is it from going forward or is it just to the end of the season? But you guys did get the result. You're in top 4 and flying high.
Bro, yeah, I mean, look, we're playing some great football and it just feels as if as soon as that captain's armband switched to Lacazette, the whole squad's changed. And I think our first game with Lacazette as starting captain showed that the team are there to play as a team for the club. And it's not just about one individual player that's on the highest salary or blah, 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 but it's about a team effort. And these young guys, and I've said it, they're very impressionable. And to have a captain out there that's going to be a bit cool, calm, and just floating about, it doesn't instill faith. It doesn't push them to drive to play football. It just gets them going, all right, let's just bounce around because he's doing it and he's making big money and we could do the same. I think with Lacazette in there, he comes in there, he just brings some energy, some drives, and some passion. And players like Saka, Martinelli, Emile Smith-Rowe, apart from Lacazette's link-up play, which is phenomenal, and I've been calling that for a while, reaping dividends. I mean, Arsenal are looking great. A young squad firing. Martinelli can't stop scoring goals. Saka is dangerous. Both wings are very dangerous for Arsenal right now. And we've got Emile Smith-Rowe having a hard time getting a start, which is a great thing to have when you're an Arsenal fan, when you've got players as good as Emile Smith-Rowe on the bench and fighting for a position.
Yeah, 100%. Rami, Kev, jump in. Arsenal getting the result. Is it a case of now? I don't want to discredit Arsenal here and say that Leeds United were poor, which they were, right? But is it more so that they were that bad that Arsenal got this result, or is this just a continuation of what Arsenal kind of have been doing in the last couple of games?
Look, the obvious thing, it's a bit of both. Obviously, Leeds are very poor at the moment. I don't think I've seen a team perform this, especially in defence. I've never seen a team perform this bad in a long time in the Premier League. So that's one thing. You can't take it away from Arsenal, though. I think this could have been any team, really, that's below them, and they would have probably pulled off a similar result. They're hungry, they're energetic. The youngsters are pressing really well. They're finally starting to knock the ball around the old Arsenal way. There's a bit of that feel back where it's tick-a-tack of football. It's neat, it's tidy. To what you guys were saying, yeah, look, obviously Lacazette coming in instead of Aubameyang, we see a difference straight away. He's hungry. He wants to lead from the front. Saka and Martinelli, Yeah, Saka's goal was a deflection, but the way he cuts the ball back and stops in that tight area to create that chance was brilliant. I think Emile Smith-Rowe, obviously, week in, week out, is doing it. But a player you didn't mention for me, the player he came on for was Odegaard. Obviously, grabbing another assist. I think he's been absolutely quality. But look, absolutely. And I think it's really. It starts all the way from the back, let's be honest. I mean, finally, Ramsdale as well as a keeper has been performing. The back line's looking decent. You know, I think White and Gabriel are starting to understand each other a bit better. The midfield, I think for me, Xhaka had an amazing assist. I don't know about Xhaka being a starting player. Thomas Partey is obviously quality. I think the overall squad is looking good, you know, and I think the performances are looking better and better. But I have to say, man, like I'm really feeling for Rafinha and Leeds. I'll tell you that much. I think the guy is shining past the squad. I think he has to move on after this season because
he's too good. He's too good for that club. He's too good for that.
You know what? Even his shot that went wide, he should have been on target. But the way he took the ball across your whole back line and just kept on running along the back line was quality.
Yeah. He dragged Tini across.
His penalty was world class. Unbelievable penalty. Like, cobwebs, pick that out. You know what I mean? So, look, overall, Arsenal's looking great. I think if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be very excited because it's been a while since Arsenal have looked this good. You know, obviously, Arteta's needed some time. But let's see the Christmas curse. They always go into Christmas top four and they slowly slip out of that top four mark. So let's see. That's going to be their challenge. If they can hold this, if they can keep holding on to the football they're playing post-Christmas.
Yeah, Kev, I know Stevie's smiling over there. Stevie's smiling. Is it?
I have a drink.
You have a drink, son. You have a drink, son. Is it a case of Arsenal are back, or is it when it comes to the bigger teams, it's just then when they can't compete? I mean, it's all good beating, and it's not trying to take a dig at Arsenal.
You're not downplaying it. You want to call it.
Yeah, but is it the case where, you beat Southampton? Look, we struggled against Southampton. We only got the point, but in terms when you look at it on paper, they're the games you should be winning, even though they're not in great form. Teams like Leeds, everyone's demolishing them at the moment, it's surprising me the manager hasn't still changed it up. But then against Everton, Kev, we've seen how Arsenal got pinned back a little bit. Now, maybe it was due to the whole captaincy and all the dramas behind that. With Aubameyang, and obviously the next game he got stood down and then stripped after that.
It was a Southampton game that we were clean. We were clean by then by Southampton.
That's right. So Kev, do you think it's just Arsenal just beating the teams they need to beat, or do you think that they're a real shout, like a decent shout for the top four?
I think the way I'll try and sum it up for us, Borch, and this is something that we've spoken about over the last couple of weeks, is about levels, right? We always say this team is at their level, or this, Arsenal's at this particular level. Their level has risen for me, and I've sort of been following Arsenal's achievements or their pattern of performances and whatnot for a while now, because I called it probably after the first three losses that things weren't quite what they were meant to be at Arsenal, and it was due to certain circumstances. So I'll probably say their level has risen. Their level has risen a lot in terms of what they could probably achieve this year, based on what we probably thought or where we thought they were going to end. I don't see them being in the top three teams. I don't see them beating the Cities, the Liverpools, and Chelsea's, even though Chelsea's in a bit of a slump at the moment. I still don't see them getting the wood over Chelsea, but I have no doubt that they can compete with everybody else in the league. I'm not saying that they're going to beat everybody. I'm just saying they can definitely compete, and they can definitely put in a performance and a shift against any one of the other teams that's left, other than those three that I mentioned. And they should never go into a game thinking that they can't lose. That they can't win. Whereas probably the mentality in the last couple of seasons was that they probably won't win. or they won't get the result. I think now there's a certain air of confidence with Arsenal. Steve and I spoke about it on his show again, Borch.
I got the memo. Don't worry. I got the memo for that one. It's all right.
There's going to be a bit of a contract signing soon, but we'll do that soon, KG.
There's a bit of a guess.
Butcher, you can come.
Thanks,
you can join us. But no, we touched on it on one of the episodes in regards to how the team is just together now, and you can see the celebration of every goal. You can see how hyped up they are for every little thing that happens on the pitch. They're all in it together. There's just a different vibe, and not to say that other teams don't have that vibe. I just think when it's Arsenal and there's that vibe, you just get something special coming out of the Emirates when those two things sort of happen. So to answer the question, I think they're at a point where their level has changed and it will continue to, get better. So if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be like, look, 4th, 5th, 6th, I wouldn't be going any further. I wouldn't go any further down the ladder than that in terms of expected finish for the rest of the season.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It'll be interesting to see if they can take this type of form into the new year and also up against the bigger sides, because that's what we want to see. Arsenal would really test themselves up against the Manchester Cities, Chelseas, Liverpools, to an extent United, because maybe they'll get better. And literally we're fighting for that pretty much that last spot. Yep. We maybe could say if Chelsea don't drop a bit further down, that 4th spot is the one that everyone's trying to fight for. Also, let's not look over Spurs at the moment. Conte's got them playing, maybe not to the best of their ability, but the results are on the board, which is at the moment is
West Ham.
West Ham as well. But I do think
West Ham can take the 4th spot. I'm telling you,
I just don't
have a team, man.
I get that, but I just think there's a lot of games where West Ham are going to drop points. They've won one game in the last 6, bro. Yeah, one game in the last 6.
It is getting shocking.
And they've dropped.
They've got a game in hand and they're only 4 points behind Arsenal. So
yeah, I'm not saying that. I just look at the other teams with Conte at Spurs, and all right, we don't know what Ralph's going to do at United, but United have got the players. So it's a kind of Spurs have got the manager, United have got the players with a new style now coming in. Maybe we've had these two games off or 2 weeks off, whatever, to try and maybe implement that style a little bit more. Yes or no, we'll see. We'll see with that. But
we'll see.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not throwing West Ham in there, because even though
West Ham, coach, is that you know what you're going to get, and this is as good as they're going to get. Whereas it's a bit unknown with Tottenham and United, because they've got levels to improve. So whereas you sort of know how West Ham's going to peak, but again, to Rami's point and Steve's point, West Ham aren't out of it. But really exciting to see. I know you're going to touch on this morning's result, Tottenham, Liverpool, but exciting to see how these managers are going to take this league and flip on its head. Now in the second half.
Every good manager's come back into the Premier League. It's unbelievable how every manager's landed himself in the Premier League. And you know what? Exactly what you boys are saying. I get it. Tottenham have the likes of Harry Kane and that, who hasn't even started firing yet. Yeah, he scored a goal this week. Arsenal, they're pretty much the same. Lacazette's now starting and they've got these players all back in. United have players that haven't even showed us half their ability. So I know what you're saying. Obviously, West Ham, Antonio this is the best he's going to get for West Ham. I can't think any better than
unless they get in. Unless they get them. Yeah, unless they get in some
teams dropping off a little for them to actually come.
But you know what? Look. Really quickly back to the Arsenal game. One thing that I'm happy about. I know as a general football fan, obviously Arsenal's a rival for United. I'm just glad they finally gave a manager time. They didn't kick Arteta out after flopping it for a few seasons and whatnot. But Borch is looking behind him, looking for someone.
I'm looking for the Arsenal fans that still want him out.
So this is the thing with the Arteta out thing, right? It's not up to the fans. It's not up to me. It's not up to you. I still think the job is too big for him, right?
I don't know, Steve, if maybe you rock up, right? If you rock up, maybe.
Make things
so what manager do you expect to get if it's not Arteta?
I'm not. Look, that's the thing. I think the job is too big for him. I don't have an answer yet. You know why? Because every other decent manager has already got a club. And I know my club doesn't go poaching fucking managers. So right now, as an Arsenal fan, what we have to do is we have to go, boop, boop, sit the fuck down and ride it out. and we just got to see what's going to happen. I think that Arsenal deserve a better manager. Now, if this guy gets us top 4 and takes us to the next level and becomes the new fucking
Pep Guardiola,
Wenger, well then you eat your words like me and say, well, I was wrong. But you know what shits me, Rami, is everybody's quick on the bandwagon on the manager, right? And look what happened now. Is I always look. Remember when you asked me and said to me about Arteta? I said top 10, and he needs to show me direction, and I won't say shit, and that's good enough. And we got that, and I said, well, I can't say nothing now. So now I pushed for. I wanted a different captain. We change our captain, and now all of a sudden the team starts fucking playing better.
So he's giving what the fans want.
Now he's seeing this and he's making changes. So this is where the fans are like, oh, look what he's on to Aubameyang. I hate when fans are picking players over the.
How can you blame
club.
that? Yeah.
You pick them. You don't pick players over the club. No player is bigger than the club. The manager went across and said, Aubameyang's not ready, not good enough to be captain. He's done whatever he's done. He has to sit on his ass. That's it. And he's made the right call. Anyone who says that Arteta hasn't made the right call is a bloody moron. Okay, because this is the call that I wanted and any real Arsenal fan wanted, bro. Yeah. And that's just it in a nutshell.
But this is the thing as well. You have to understand, someone like Klopp had 4 or 5 years before he won the league for
exactly.
them. So,
he was given all the time under the sun.
Yeah,
all the time under the sun, right?
Yeah. I get it. I get it. At the same time, when you look at Arsenal's situation, and I know United and some of the other teams are different situations in terms of who's the manager and why is he still here, kind of thing. With Arteta, he came in he took over Unai Emery, and it was a worse team. Yeah, I get it, but it was a worse league position, right? After that, the year after that, no change, still no European football. Like I said last week, they made a fucking new European competition, the Conference League, and Arsenal couldn't even get into that. I know it's a fucking no one wants to be in it. No one wants to. You'd rather not be in it than in it, right? But that's a European trophy that Arsenal could have won. Yeah, it's rubbish, and it's whatever. For the meantime, lifting that trophy will be like, yes, we got a trophy. Let's move on now, right? But there's been no improvement in the very similar to what people said with Oli. I know it's a bit of a different situation because there was a bit of a rebuild that happened at United. But Arsenal last season, they won the transfer window. This season, Arsenal fans are saying they won the transfer window. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like they're getting the players. Remember when they got Willian and all these guys, they all came in 3 seasons ago? They got the players. It's just Arteta didn't give them that direction. Maybe now he's kind of cleaning it up, getting rid of the players. What I see, the player management in terms of the younger players, Martinelli was been around since 2019. So Martinelli's not a new player that just come in.
Yeah, exactly.
But is it the case of, maybe Steve, you can tell me a bit more, is it the case of that he wasn't playing him before because there was other, maybe, if you want to say, experienced players or maybe higher profile names in the team that he didn't get a sniff? Or is it just a player management of, Martinelli will come in for the cup games and I'll give him minutes every now and then. Same with Saka and ESR the last couple of seasons. Maybe they got brought in due to injury, but I think even now, ESR's performing. How about you rest today? I've got Odegaard. Now, to me, when I look at that, I'm like, with the younger players, fantastic job. Oli did that with Greenwood, slowly brought him into the team, and he was firing. I think that's and I think it's a great job what he's done with the young players. I don't know, is it this? Do you see it that way, or is it more so? I'd rather play Aubameyang, Pepe, and Willian because he was playing Willian a lot. Was it more of an ego? Put the egos in, or not egos, but the higher profile players, or was it the player management? Let me slowly better me.
Early on, I think you're right. Early on, it was marketing.
Yeah.
Right. And I know it sounds horrible. It was marketing. He had his Pepe. He had his Willian. He had Aubameyang. And unfortunately, you've got the cronkies down your throat saying, well, these are the big names. These are the big players.
Yeah.
You got to play him. But he's come back after a season saying, I've played him. And look where we are now. Now we've got to do maybe a little bit my way. Right. So this is where the Sakas, this is where the Martinellis, this is where the ESRs get their chances. And at Arsenal, what I've noticed is that you get a chance, you take that chance. And that's how it is with Arteta. You take the opportunity that I give you now, because if you don't take the opportunity, it's going to be a long while before you get it again. So Martinelli this season, we all know he came on, and I don't know if you guys remember, he came on for ESR, right? ESR got that knock. Martinelli came in and he actually came in off the bench and scored. So after he staked his claim, Arteta looks and says, well, he's still playing well. And this season, I think it's more about Kroenke's looking at Arteta and saying, well, we had all those big names, and now Pepe's sitting on the bench. He's shit, right? We had a big name in Aubameyang. He's not playing well, and he's going to have to bench him. We can't do much about that. Willian, we were happy to get rid of him. And maybe the point is proven, where Arteta's come in and said, we got those big signings, we got those big names, we tried to play them, it didn't work. Now we just got to play the players that are performing. And the guys that are performing right now, let's be honest, are all, 22, 23-year-old? Look at our backline. Remember, I was talking about our backline. I go, we've got the youngest backline, and I look at them, and I think we've got one of the best defensive lines in the league. And they're all young. Who has that? Who's got a goalkeeper as young as ours? Like, it's getting to the point. And
but the exciting thing about this is it could be a team that sticks together for the next 5, 6, 7, 8
that's
years.
That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Martinelli's just started to stake his claim, and Arteta's saying, here's your opportunity, show me more. ESR sitting there, he goes, I played good, Gaffer. Yeah, you did, but Odegaard's playing good too. And it's a fight for your position. And this is a good position to be in, especially when young players look, right? As a young player, Bodche, you're a young player. It's no longer Pepe starts because he's worth big money and he's he came from France. It's like Pepe sits on his ass and you play because you're showing me something. And the next young player goes, wait a minute, I can do that. And it drives them. And so that's why we got all these young guys on the team right now putting in a shift, and Pepe's sitting there twiddling his thumbs. And abandoning as well.
Pepe shit, or he just doesn't suit your system?
No, I'm not saying he's shit. Look, it's probably horrible to say he's shit. I don't think he's shit. I think Pepe's a decent player. I think the problem with Pepe is he hasn't adapted to the English style of football. I think he's having a hard time with the physicality. Once two players get on Pepe, we all know what's going to happen. I think we've all seen it. He loses the ball automatically, or he does something rash. So I think it's going to take time for that to be ironed out. Yeah. If it happens at Arsenal, it happens, or another club. I think he's just not suited to Premier League. Zaha would have been better. But anyway.
Do you get worried that come the summer transfer window, bigger clubs come knocking in for ESR, Saka? Because Saka was, I wouldn't say was about to go out the door, but there was big rumours that he was going to leave. Maybe not this window, I think the last season. Whether the manager or the board didn't believe in him, or they just needed the funds. Could be just the funds. But I still do believe it's for the Kroenke, it is about the funds. So are you worried? Next season comes along, start of next season, players come running in for someone like Saka, ESR, and Martinelli.
I'm not, and you know why? Because when I see these guys on the pitch, they're playing together, they're playing for the team, they're playing for each other, and I'm seeing it every time they play. It doesn't matter who scores. As long as I'm involved to help out one
Steve,
of my boys to score.
If you guys don't make, if you don't make Champions League,
we live in a time where if someone comes to you and triples your money,
but not even money, because they're still young players and they got time to get that paycheck. But I just think if Barcelona come knocking, right, and I know financial situations are at the moment that they can't splash the cash, but from what I'm hearing, at the start of next season they're going to get money back in. If Barca come in knocking for Martinelli, I know he's Brazilian, right? Brazilian player. Yeah. If we can give him 50 million, the Kroenkes are gonna snatch at it for Martinelli. If he keeps up the form into the rest of the season, and also maybe I don't know how the South America doing with qualifiers. He gets chosen in the Brazil squad. Players like Barcelona, big rebuild they need over there. Real Madrid, big rebuild. ESR, Saka will fit perfectly in them squads. I just think, and not because it's not the money. I think it's Champions League football. I think they can offer Champions League football. Maybe these players can hold off Europa League one season, and then we see something at the end of the tunnel. If it doesn't work out this season, or as in next season, maybe they'll go the season after. But it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Arsenal. But before I move on to the next game, just quickly, Kev, if you're still with us there, Leeds United, Bielsa. What is this guy still doing at the club? Because you guys were telling me, but Borch, they play entertaining football at the start of the season.
They do. Borch, they do. What are you wrong with, bro? I was very entertained.
He sits on his bucket, can't speak English, and he's still here. How? This is the dream job for anyone.
The circus. Might as well go to the circus.
Racist.
What's going to change for Leeds if they get rid of Bielsa? What changes for Leeds?
So keep him in.
But what changes for them if they get rid of him?
I don't know. Maybe have a plan B, or maybe change it up when you're getting
this many injuries. It's not easy for Leeds. 8
yeah, but bro,
players out.
okay,
8 players, not easy.
Yeah, but Steve,
If
it's not.
somebody else comes in, what are they going to do with it?
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not just this game. It's the start of the season. It's last season as well. It's been happening. They've come into the Premier League.
Last season,
Great.
they survived relegation, dude.
They survived relegation, but
They came up from the championship and they survived.
so it's just about survival for them.
Well, no, in your first year, that should be your main goal. Your main goal is survival in the first year. When you
Okay,
come
now
back.
second season.
They've been through a lot of shit.
Second season, you want to make sure you establish yourself as a Premier League club, not a team like Leeds United.
But with injuries and that
There you
they
go,
don't have the
Kev.
same sort of, they don't have the same
See
sort
what
of
Leeds done to him? Look, he's gone.
He's gone. Bielsa's at here.
Bielsa's at it again, KG. Look.
No, it's Raul Jimenez thing all over again. But no, it's like I don't know what Bielsa's meant to do.
Well,
What do you mean?
when you cop 1 goal, 2 goal, 3 goal, change it up and maybe put a bit more players behind it. He's still playing with this attacking. Just go bomb forward. Don't worry about coming up. Rafinha, he's pretty much parked in the other teams. Other teams' box with Bamford. They're both there hanging out together. Drop back. Defensively. There's no organisation,
Terrible.
so you can't.
Defensively.
You can bring anyone. Unai Emery comes into this Leeds side and make sure that defense is solid, or at least starts working at it. Because after 3 goals, you're making sure that you don't cop more, not 7.
What's
And
what
not only
Arsenal did?
but not only all right, you cop 7 to City, you cop 7 to. Say that again.
Difference between losing in 4-1 and 1-0 every week is assuming you pick up 0 points.
Yeah, but come on, bro.
It's-
You can't say that.
they
So
don't
you
have
rather
the
lose
same
7-0 than 1-0.
Yeah, but
You
Kev,
wanna
you
keep
know
losing
what?
4-0,
Kev,
3-0, 7-0.
1 goal or 5 goals is an indication of how the squad looks like on the long run. Longevity, you know what I mean? Like, if you're losing 7-0, 5-1,
Not when you got that many injuries, man. When you got that many injuries, no matter which manager comes in, he's not just because it's
They lost
Emery.
they lost 5-1 first game of the
take
season.
the injuries away. Take the injuries away. If you put players from the squad within the lineup and change the structure and tactics.
But
You
you
know what
saw
it was?
you saw where they finished last year with the squad. What's changed for them other than them signing Daniel James? Who else did they lose? So for Leeds, they've proven what they can do when they have a fully fit squad.
So
When they don't
7-0,
have
7-0,
going to happen.
so 7-0, 4-1, 5-1 to United. There was I'm pretty sure there was another couple 4-0s as well,
5-1 was the
3-0s.
start of the season?
That's okay. That's okay because what they're meant to do.
I'm not saying that's
Okay,
What I'm saying
so
is,
you're saying
whether
this
you
manager
lose
should stay.
1-0 or whether you lose by 6, whether you lose by 7, or you lose by 1, at the end of the day, if they don't pick up enough points, they're going to get relegated anyway.
Yeah, but you can get relegated by goal difference. You can lose the league on goal difference, and we should know that as United supporters.
Well, right now, after Newcastle, they've conceded the most goals in the league.
Yeah, I know, but you can clearly see with their roster, they're not going to be able to do it. If you said to me, "Oh, he's got a fully fit squad, and these are the results," I see, mate, he should have left 4 weeks ago.
KJ,
He doesn't
I
have
got
a
one
fully
thing.
fit squad.
I got one thing for you. Now, I'm not saying I feel you on all that, on the injuries and all that, but there's one thing on the tactics. You know, I noticed one thing: Arsenal versus Leeds, and I don't know if you guys saw it. Lacazette was on the right wing at one stage, and he was almost in our own half. You know, the Leeds centre back, travelled with him all the way. I watched it, and even the commentators go, "Well, wait a minute. The centre back, it's like, I know it's like you got to mark your man, but not when you're leaving your fucking back line all the way to go to the middle of the pitch." And I think that's one little thing. And I understand what they're trying to do, man on, but not man on when you're in the other third. You know what I mean? In the out of position. I think the only thing that he could have done.
They're down on confidence as well. They're down on confidence.
That's true. That's true. The confidence is going to be shit. But you don't track your man from back there to over here. I think the manager could have said to him, "Look, boys," he could have lined up with 5 in the back. He could have lined up with the back 5 and tried to fucking hold us off.
You can put a bank of 10 there, and if they lose 1-0, they still pick up 0 points.
Yeah, I get that, but
more as a player if you go down 4-0 or 4-1 than it is to go down 1-0.
Well, if I lost 1-0, I'd be like, fuck, I was too close. I could have got a draw, and I'll be even more pissed off. Where it's 5-0, I'm like, yeah,
come on.
I lose 5-0 as a defender. I'm fucking breaking shit.
But then,
TVs, people, other players.
If I was a defender and I had a full squad of 11 and like my starting 11 without injuries, I would be pissed off, yeah. But when I know that I'm putting band-aids on everything to try and make things work, and then I lose 5-1, what am I going to do?
Look, it's a balance of both, though. It's a balance of both. Yeah, the injuries are heavy. The players bit now is heavy, but a good manager knows how to kind of survive during those times, I guess. Look, they are 16th. But they've played their 18 games. That's the problem. You have Burnley underneath them who have played 15 games. You know what I mean? You have Watford who've played 16, Norwich who've played 17. So they've hit the 18 and they're sitting on what? They're sitting 16. So, look, I guess now their priority should be let's survive. Let's not get relegated. I think that's key right now because
the transfer window's coming in too. They gotta have to get busy in the transfer window.
Because you're right, Steve. Because if they don't sort something out now, regardless if they're injuries, because at the first round of the season they had everyone there and they still got pumped. So from what I'm seeing from
the manager, then why are you sacking the manager then?
Okay, so
today I'm thinking because they're fucking centre back just try.
Wait,
yeah, but if he's going to fix it in the transfer window, then why are we sacking the manager?
This is the same thing.
If they got players out,
I can talk about Man United. How come Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got sacked?
Because we demand more than what Leeds demand. We've got the money. We're going to go spend.
But Leeds don't
want to drop off. They don't want to drop down to the. They don't want to drop out of the Premier League at the rate that they're going. They're going to drop out of the Premier League.
That proves my point. They don't want to drop out. They actually believe in this guy. Then they actually believe that if he had a fully fit squad, he's going to turn it around.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Yeah, but
my point is manager the fact that he doesn't have players due to injury.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, bro. It's like you're saying. You're saying with a fully fit team, but. First game of the season, fully fit team. Couple games after that, bro. Didn't Leeds not win like their first 7 in a row, 6 in a row? I don't know if someone wants to check.
What is the go there?
I don't think they won. I don't think they won. Like I think Leeds were one of the teams. It was like Leeds, Burnley, Newcastle, Norwich, who didn't win like their first couple of games. Not the first 3, but these guys went longer.
Leeds are 6 points from ninth place Leicester.
Yeah, but that's why can't they be on top of Leicester?
There were circumstances though.
Yeah, okay, all right, I get it. All right. We'll see, because when if they don't do anything with these injuries and get maybe more players in the window, when Newcastle splashes now 200 million in January and leapfrogs them. Probably takes Rafinha too, bro.
That's
and leapfrogs them. Then they're going to be 16 more years.
Newcastle won't even be in the Premier League next year, so don't worry.
They're still getting. They're still in the transfer window this year.
Well,
they're still in the transfer window this year. If these guys come in,
but
listen to me. If these guys get into the transfer window this year and they spend something decent, all right, and with the way other teams are playing, they could still fucking crawl it back, man.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I agree with you, but let's see what happens.
Who's going to go to Newcastle when they know that they're about to get relegated?
Rafinha.
You can get players.
That's going to get big money.
You can get players.
All right, I'm looking at him play. He plays good.
You can get players from the French league. You can get players from there's really good players in the Championship that.
They're not going to go until they know that these guys survive.
They could get. You know what? You get a player like Max Aarons who might think about moving there because he thinks to himself he could have a starting line position next season.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, Leeds United are in the mud, bro. For me, Leeds United in the mud. Bielsa. To be honest, I did rate him as a manager. But at the moment, I have no clue what is going on at that club. Maybe Ollie should come in and take the job and do the whole rebuild. But let's move on.
Boys, I'm gonna have to butcher probably a good leeway to get into the Tottenham Liverpool game. But some breaking news 5 minutes ago: Spurs exit Europa Conference League after being forced to forfeit final group stage game with Rennes. So they're actually out of the Conference League. Tottenham just got announced.
Forced to forfeit against Rennes. Why?
Yep.
What? COVID.
Yeah, they
I think so.
But what? They couldn't play it, so they're out.
Nah. So they're forced to be forfeit. So they're out of the Conference League now.
Yeah, but weren't they already coming in? Weren't they already qualifying?
No, it just said the Premier League outfit have seen their contentional commitments for 2021 brought to a close. So Tottenham have exited the Europa Conference League after being forced to forfeit their final group stage game against Rennes. UEFA has announced with that fixture initially called off due to a COVID-19 outbreak in the Spurs camp. So they're out of the Conference League.
Maybe they're not allowed to forfeit. That might be why they keep
But
that's some breaking news. Just literally 5 minutes ago, just come in. Interesting. That's very interesting.
Well, there you go, Steve. No European trophy for Spurs. They've done it again. They're bottle jobs.
No one wants that fucking
Bottle jobs FC.
It's like, here's your trophy.
Who can bottle it, bro? We all got one. We've all got one here. Don't worry about that. But yeah, that's an interesting one. But look, we'll leave the Spurs game, and maybe we'll speak about that a little bit more as well, Rami. I'll have a read. I'll have a read to see what else I can find on here. But look, Chelsea nil. Kev's favorite team nil. No Raul Jimenez. And
he did play. He did play the prick.
He didn't
play, but
didn't he get the red?
He did get the red. And I was wondering why he played.
No, it was yellow, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's still
yellow.
He didn't miss anything.
Didn't he miss a game?
No, that's what I was trying to work out.
So I think they had a game called off because of COVID. That was the game that
surely
missed.
not.
Is that how it works?
No, it can't be that.
Come on.
It can't be that.
He was playing, bro.
That rule will be Sunday League's dream rule.
I was waiting for his headband on the floor again and get the crowd to cheer. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah,
when he got subbed off, it was early this morning, right? Yeah, when he got subbed off early this morning.
I didn't think he played. I didn't think he played, Jimenez.
He did.
No, he started up front with Potence. The attacking partnership.
The first goal was disallowed because of him.
He was offside. Potence scored. Jimenez is an offside.
The offside position.
But Jimenez is offside. He fucked it.
Yeah. But he must have only just touched it.
Yeah, he fucked it.
He fucked it. Kev's loving it. My boys, Chelsea, yeah, they're I reckon they're still in the title race, but everyone's kind of picked them with the start they did have to be up thereabouts. At the last couple of games, dropping massive points against teams that they should really be getting the job done. Last week, Everton held them to 1-1 at home at Stamford Bridge. United, after sacking their manager, got a 1-1 result there at Stamford Bridge. What's happening to them, lads? Now Wolves as well. What's going on here?
Dude, they weren't even playing with a striker yesterday, man, Chelsea. They weren't even playing with a striker.
Hey, can I ask you a quick question? Pretty random. How come their bench was smaller than Wolves' bench?
No one to put on. COVID.
Yeah.
They literally had 6 subs. Wolves had 8. I haven't seen that in a while. Hey, that's ridiculous. Like, they don't have enough players to fill a squad.
If you have
4 players out of the youth,
if you have
4 players out of the youth or under 21s or something.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Bro, just sit them on the bench. Your kids, imagine the experience for them. Oh, we're in the starting lineup on the bench. That'll G them up to do.
It's Chelsea, bro. Chelsea don't believe in that.
Yeah, they're clearly just signing players. They don't care.
They're just players, bro. They don't fucking
Don't they have like 4 or 5 youth guys in the team?
Yeah, but they were forced in.
Yeah.
Lampard was forced in. No transfer window, transfer ban, and all of a sudden they were good. But and they got rid of Tammy as well. So there you go. What's the other one? The other guy that went to AC Milan, the good defender,
Mori.
Yeah, him as well. So there you go, bro. So I think the youth players are like, nah. If I jump on, I'm getting sold. So I'll just kick back.
But when it comes to the defense, they're sorted. Yeah, obviously they're not copying. They've not got the problems up front. Pulisic being their 9.
Are you sure?
They've had a few lately. They've had a few issues because they've had injuries to key players at the back.
Well, look, I mean, they sit Reece James and Alonso as attacking wing backs pretty much. Yeah, they're both quality players going forward, but then they leave themselves with Rudiger, Thiago Silva, as Bilaqueta. Look, these are quality defenders that we're naming. Like they're not mess around defenders. You know, you have Kante and Chalobah playing in the mid together. Mount and Ziyech are quality. I think the 9 role's hurting him. Pulisic. You know, Werner's out, Lukaku's not playing. There's so many issues up front where they haven't had a consistent 9 week in, week out.
But wouldn't you agree that team was good enough to beat Wolves? Because I looked at that squad and I said, that's good enough to beat Wolves.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah.
You know what? Wolves could have walked away with the win easily.
Yeah, exactly. That game was all Wolves. That first 45 minutes, I don't know if you I watched the first 45 minutes, I'm thinking, how the hell isn't Wolves up 1-0?
Yeah, they're playing quality.
But I don't think it's just the front line. I don't really think the front line is the issue because Chelsea can get the goals, and when they do get the goals, they usually hold out. You look at their last couple of results, they conceded 1 after being, I think, 1-0 up to Everton, conceded 1. The week before, 2 to Leeds, 3 to West Ham, was it 1 to United?
Yeah, but Borche, you know what? In this game, they only had 1 shot on target.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that.
So they had 1 shot on target. Wolves had 1 shot on target.
I think.
They had double
do you know what?
Wolves had, and they both had 1 shot on target.
Not very
do you know what I do think?
against
I do think whether you wanna look at team selection, Sao Niguez has not been like the Premier League is not for him. He can't find another gear to try. And he was a fantastic player in Atletico Madrid.
Oh,
right?
what a signing!
And I was calling him,
that's unbelievable.
And I was calling I was hoping United maybe can jag him, or even if it was for the loan, but it just doesn't look like it's working there. And I think that to have him in the centre mid kind of breaks it down. I think he kind of maybe slows things down where they have Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic hasn't been playing in the last couple of weeks. Players like that,
off the bench.
Ross Barkley and all them guys who got the energy, who are fast, are forward thinking, where at Atletico, where Sao Niguez, it's let's be really patient, really defensive with Simeone, sidewards, backwards. Then we look for Suarez, or we look for the players up front, or give it to João Felix, where he can do the running. Premier League's a different ball game. Everyone needs to be on.
Fast.
Last night, every ball got played to him from a centre back. First touch, straight back. Didn't even take the touch.
Oh, absolutely.
So as a
straight back, and you're like, dude, man, I can sense the frustration from the fans. I can sense the frustration from Tuchel, because Tuchel doesn't like that. He doesn't like sideways, backwards. Everyone else that picked up the ball, it was wide, straight out. Reece James, can't remember who was out on the left. I think maybe it was Pulisic. But they just kept spreading the ball out wide. But every time he got the ball, the first touch was straight back to the centre back, and I'm like, dude, this is becoming a boring game. I wanted to go watch the City one. That was even more boring because it was just let's just see how many weeks. It was a training session. I'm like, this is boring. Go back to the Chelsea one. This is boring. And the visibility on the Chelsea one was pretty bad as well. Yeah. I don't know what's. So
I have to say though, on the flip side, I have to give props to Wolves. There were certain moments in the game. I'm like, they're really putting pressure on Chelsea. They had moments where they were pressing up high in the park. And Chelsea's trying to get out of the defence. They're knocking at player pressing. And they were struggling at one point to even get out of their own half. And props to Wolves, obviously they disrupted the back line a bit. They disrupted the team a bit. But come on, when a team like Chelsea's putting one shot on target to Wolves, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because you need to put shots on target in order to score goals. That's pretty basic.
But then you look at last week where they drew to Everton, right? They had about 10 shots on target. Yes, they only got the one, but I just think with Sao Niguez being in that squad with the type of players that are around him, and to top it off, you don't have Lukaku, you don't have Timo Werner, you don't Havertz is here. He's not every now and then because he had that COVID. So that just piles on the what you were saying with the players are not scoring, with their strikers are not scoring. One, they don't have them strikers. Two, we got Sao Niguez slowing the game down, where you got Ziyech, Pulisic, these guys zipping past, wanting the ball, but there's no one. They're just doing doggies, making runs for nothing, for no reason.
Honestly, I reckon Ross Barkley would come with more impact.
100%. Ross Barkley's got that energy, and he'll at least give you something. Where I don't know what it is, bro. I didn't expect him to really, really flop the way that he has. I know he hasn't played a lot of games, and when he's come in, he hasn't got enough minutes.
Quality, what a player!
I used to rate him highly.
Everyone did. What a player he was, man! Unbelievable player. And then, look, the Premier League's not for everyone, man. But it could be early days. It could be the wrong. I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Maybe the style of football they're playing. But they are struggling, man. When you name those players, you just name Borja, Havertz and Werner and Lukaku, and they're huge players, man. They're not small players.
And then you have players like Jorginho out as well. Jorginho, every now and then he's not in the squad. Kovacic was killing it at the start of the season, and then he's picked up injuries and sickness, and that's the whole thing with COVID. You need to have a big squad for people to come in, to fill in. Squad depth is very important, especially.
Do have a decent squad. Do have a decent squad.
When you got half of their,
squad was good enough on the pitch. Should have been good enough to beat.
When all their players were fit, me and Borch were making jokes about you could have 5-6 different centre mids starting together. But
when their whole depth is injured or with COVID, their lives more issues. Yeah, there's no depth anymore. But look,
I think Chilwell's the one that's hurting them the most, man.
I think so too. That's good call.
Yeah, Chilwell's a huge loss. But then again, who's your replacement? Alonso? It's not.
I get it, but he's not doing the same. Like he's
attacking
Chilwell
threat.
was scoring goals. Yeah.
He was getting way involved in the play. Like
It's the age of the wing back. The wing backs in the Premier League are just look at Liverpool with Alexander-Arnold and Robert. They're scoring and assisting every week. Cancelo right now is the most informed player in the Premier League.
Yeah.
He's a defender. So absolutely, I agree with you. I agree.
And that's another thing as well. Kev's right there with Chilwell, attacking threat. There's someone to put a ball in. So that's another thing as well. But it'll be interesting to see what happens now in the next couple of games for Chelsea. We might have a COVID. We might have a COVID break during now this weekend coming. They're gonna have it will probably be announced by the time we finish recording. It'll probably something will be announced that whether the games will go ahead or not. Will be interesting to see, and then hopefully they get their players back and they can kick on from that, because they haven't really been the best Chelsea. But guys, we'll move on to City won 4-0 to Newcastle. I mean, City doing what City do, cracking goals. De Bruyne. Look, the thing about it, De Bruyne score in this game or the game before? He scored in both.
He didn't score in this game.
He scored the game
before. He came back and
that's his second goal. That's his second goal this season with De Bruyne. So they didn't even need him to be there, and they're still ripping it up.
They don't.
Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what? I must say that there's some big talking points in this game. I think the first one for me is let's talk about Cancelo. I think in my eyes the most informed Premier League player at the moment. I haven't seen a defender score and assist every single freaking week, man. Like, it's just not normal to be that informed.
Every time
his goals, he's scoring goals that a 10 should be scoring, not a defender.
Gerrard,
but on the
Gerrard days, Vieira days.
Yeah. Oh, and he's a defender. And look, on the flip side,
Paul Scholes days. Paul Scholes. Put him first before you mention any other has-beens.
Gerrard.
Talk about
Lampard instead of him.
Gerrard.
Look,
Vieira.
on the other note, should Man City have been given a penalty against them? Because we saw when Newcastle had that shot and it was saved off the line from Cancelo, they gave it a free kick. What does it matter if it's in the box or outside the box? I'm confused right now, because they got challenged when they had the shot, when they stopped it off the line. It was a little nudge, free kick. But then keeper takes the player out, which is a clear contact. Yeah. Not like it will change the game, but it's just
not that you're right. Not that it will change the game, but it's just. I think it varies from referees. It varies from teams. I don't know, bro. Like, is the rule inside the box different to outside the box? Is a free kick? Do they look at a free kick differently? It's just so confusing to me at the moment when it comes to these decisions, bro. Honestly, and we'll speak about it in the Liverpool game as well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think, to be honest, I don't think it would have made much of a difference in regarding the scoreline. To be fair, I think City. All right, you give them a pen. They're going to go
Newcastle as well.
Yeah,
they were always.
But City being City, bro. They just dominated another training game for them.
Session.
Mahrez scoring crackers, and like I said, even with them, bro. One week, Sterling is on the bench. Mahrez is on. Grealish comes on, and then Bernardo Silva, and it's just endless for them. And they go
defenders getting on the score sheet.
They go clear. I think.
They go and giggles, mate. They're playing football for fun. They're scoring goals for fun.
It was a bad mistake from Newcastle. Diaz's goal was a terrible. It was a gift and a half. Again, these small things wouldn't have mattered for someone like City. They always find a way to pull the result out. But boys, let me ask you: Is City winning this? Is City winning the league from here? I know it's early days.
Look, 3 points.
City, Liverpool, Chelsea.
3 points. 3 points at the moment. You never know what the Premier League can throw at you. I think it's too early, bro. I think they definitely are the favourites. I think we all picked them to win the league. Oh, besides me, I said United. That's
Chelsea.
biased. That's a bit biased. We all, my head said
Chelsea,
City.
bro.
My head said City, but
Chelsea. Why would you do that?
They're looking the goods. Let's be honest. They're looking the goods to win it, even though it's only 3 points. Liverpool beat them, and then they're on level points. So it can go either way, to be honest. But boys, let's move on to the next game, the match of the round. Tottenham at home to Liverpool. Now, what a game this was, man. Another cracking game.
Wow.
Controversy from start to finish. I mean,
could have been 10 goals in this game.
Could have been 10 goals. Could have been a few more reds. Could have been a few more red cards. Look, Spurs break through early and get the goal with Harry Kane. Although I should say, I don't think this game should have gone ahead because of the amount of COVID numbers that Liverpool had. I don't think they should have gone ahead. It's not fair that Spurs had 4 games, have got 4 catch-ups now, right? And well, okay, I say not fair. They got kicked out of the Europa Conference, but
Exactly.
when they had COVID cases, it was okay for them to postpone the games, even to an extent throw United in there. You know what I mean? United was nine players and staff. It could be 9 players from the reserve and the canteen lady. Do you know what I'm saying? That's 10. But anyways, you know what I'm saying?
Do we know if they had a choice or not? Because the way I understood Klopp's reaction was that they chose to play.
Okay, I don't know. Because after the game it was a different story.
I know after the game, I know what he said, but still, like it made it out as if there was a choice to either play or to postpone.
Okay, I wasn't aware.
I think that's how I understood it. Yeah. I could be wrong, but the way my mentality from what I understood from Klopp was we played, and I know what's in the back of his mind, or I think I know what's in the back of his mind in the sense that I don't want fixtures to pile up later.
Yeah, but Kev, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. We chose to play. It should be it should be like a health. The health should be first. You can choose to play with United. United might have wanted to play as well, but no, you got COVID cases.
Decent squad out there though, Liverpool. Like if you look at it.
Yeah, but when you got their main players out, when you got main players out like Van Dijk and who's that Matip and some
Fabinho, Virgil,
Fabinho wasn't there.
Thiago.
So you got players like that.
Out.
I don't know what the number is. If you have more than 6, I think that's what they were saying. If it's more than 6, then it gets postponed. But I just think it's regardless of what you think, whether you want to play or not. It should be no. You got COVID. Someone from your team that might not have symptoms and tested negative
in a week
could in that game. By the time that game comes, might have contracted something, and now gives it to Spurs players again. And then what we're seeing is. The league gets null and void because they're not taking this situation a little bit serious. You know, whether it's
I don't disagree with what you're saying, Borch. I think they are, like, to the other point, I think they are taking it seriously because they cancelled a whole bunch of games, right? We only got through 4 this weekend.
But that's the thing. Why not? Why did Liverpool have to suffer under that? You guys play, but we got cases as well. I don't know how many cases Burnley had. They probably had 1-2 cases. I don't know the numbers there. We only know the numbers of the bigger teams, bigger clubs.
Yeah, but I'm that's what I'm thinking. The way I understood it was that they were given the option to play. I think that's how I understood it. I'm not saying that that's fact.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's how I understood it.
I think Klopp did want to play. But he said if we get 1 or 2 more cases, we don't want to continue to play.
Yeah, because Klopp also came out and said he's like, there's a couple of players in the squad who don't want to get vaxxed, and they're the one causing this issue for everybody else because if they're not vaxxed, then we're more susceptible to continue to get the cases and whatnot. So he's had to go at some of the guys internally as well. Not necessarily that he's saying right or wrong. He's just saying for what we need to do as a club and what we need to achieve this year, like these guys need to maybe consider, Yeah,
it's a hard one. It's a hard one. It's a hard one, bro. To force people to do things is fucking tough.
I think if you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. I think when it comes to football, Borch's point is maybe instead of it being up to the friggin' to Conte or to Klopp, it should be the FA come and say, nah, just not going to happen, plain and simple. Yeah. And it's out of your hands, my hands. It's like you guys are playing under our banner, and because of COVID, this is just not going to happen. You've got enough.
It should
cases.
be the Premier League as a body. Should be the Premier League as a body that calls it, not going to happen. Each manager.
Looking at it commercially, boys, you got to think that the league has a responsibility also to its sponsors, to television rights.
Stan, listen to me, Stan. I've had enough of this marketing guru stuff, Stan. All right, I hear this a lot from Cronky. Now you're doing it, KG. All right, I know you just signed for me. All right, but not like this.
Hey, Steve, did you see? No, did you see his name at the bottom? It's me, Cronky. It's not me, KG. It's me, Cronky. I swear.
Me, Cronky / Glacier. That's what you're about. Yeah, you're that marketing guru, aren't you?
Listen,
don't worry about people's health. Who cares if they drop dead? You don't care, do you?
It's not. They're going to drop dead later when they don't have enough time to get through all these games, and they're playing every second day.
Yeah, but they have this year.
Let them drop down from tired, from friggin' fatigue, but not from a friggin' virus.
Yeah, but in February, in end of Feb, there was a freeze period anyways where there was going to be 2 weeks off. Now they should have just said, you know what? Let's use it now. Flip it now. I know Amazon have their rights to fucking Christmas and Boxing Day. Go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
Have these games that everyone's missed out in the start of Feb, where the freeze is meant to be that week, that fortnight. So there's 2 weeks where there's no Premier League. Should have just shifted it after Boxing Day. After Boxing Day, get the games happening again and just fill in the fixtures. Now they're thinking about let these games run, and then after Boxing Day for New Year we'll cancel them games and we'll put. What's the difference? There's COVID cases now, so like, I don't know. But look, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game because it is COVID. You know how it is. It's a
never-ending story.
Never-ending story. But Spurs, like I was saying half an hour ago, Harry Kane with that goal that gave him the lead. Harry Kane announced himself for the 10th time in his career at that stadium. Great finish. It was a great ball. But guys, Liverpool's goal now.
Jota.
Was it the Jota one or was it the last one?
Jota's unbelievable header.
Yeah, bro, he got up there, man. That was a good
guy. The guy in the air is next level, man. He just does it when it comes to headers.
This is what happens when you play with Ronaldo. Where you learn how to have that hang time. The shortest player on the field,
for 20 seconds.
Reminds me of Jamie.
But look, on that,
you know.
Yeah, on that note, Borch, there was huge talking points in this game. Yeah, massive talking points. Obviously, Robertson's red card was one. Was it a red card? I personally think it was. He went in very hard with the intention to take a player's feet. He didn't go in hard.
Don't you nod your head, Steve. Do not nod your. Don't say yes. Because you're telling me everyone's soft and back in my day, Vieira and all these guys. That's what you want to see, mate. No, that's what you want to see. No. I'm not having it. I'm not having it from you. KG's had enough. KG's had enough. The screen's gone.
The same shit happened to Saka, and I was losing my head, and
you're soft.
It was barely
soft. You've gone soft to me.
You know what? The way Robertson went in. How do you tackle the ball that hard? You're not going for.
I liked it. I liked it. I can't say I didn't like it, but it's a card, you know.
But on that note, look, that was one.
It's a talking to, Steve. It's a talking to. Just come in and say, listen, don't do it again, and that's it. Play on. But if you had
got away with it, I would have given him a pay rise. If you had got away with that, oh my god.
Do you know what, bro? Like. I get safety and all that. I get it, but it has gone a little bit soft. The red card from Harry. The tackle from Harry Kane, that was probably more. Yeah, but if you look at how that ended up, it was more of a red than Robertson's one to me. It was more of a red. Yeah. I know he's kind of lashed out.
Kane's was a yellow. I thought that was a yellow. I thought
Robertson's one was more yellow, then Robertson's is yellow. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, or do that. Yeah,
there was a wind up. Dude, he wound up and slammed the guy. Kane, he slid in and he's
a good hit from Robertson, but
he was straight the whole time. So it's a little bit different. If he pulled back his knee and then went at him, red card.
I get it. I get it with Kane because if Robertson doesn't jump, he probably snaps his leg. Maybe possibility.
Maybe it's.
But that's why we have shin pads. That's why we have shin pads, bro.
Difference between the two is that he wound up his leg. Robertson wound up his leg and took who was it out?
It was a hack, man. It was a hack job. I swear that was a hack job.
Muhammad Ali.
Wind up. They should have both been red, not yellows.
Hey, but look, a bigger controversial talking point for me was Salah's handball. Clearly changed the whole aspect of the attack. It determined the goal. It made the goal happen. For me, I don't know where this rule is now. They told me this year, if this was last season, the commentator was saying this was last season, that's no goal. But this season it is. Why? Clearly, he stopped the ball with his hand. It's gone across. Alexander-Arnold. Cross, Robbo, goal. See you later. 2-1. Liverpool's grabbing the ball.
Yeah,
I thought that was a bit. I agree with you there, man.
Say that again, Kev.
I think that was a make-up for the penalty that they lost out on. Yeah, I thought that push in the back in the first half was a pen. The one I think they dropped Jota.
So what is this now? Park Football Sunday League? Oh, I didn't give you that one, so I'm going to give you this one. Like, come on. Like, the calls are bad, man. Like, don't get me wrong. I agree. If Robbo was a red card, then Kane should be. Or if Kane was yellow, he should be yellow.
Yeah.
But to handball it in the box like that, we've seen some terrible handball calls where the goals have been disallowed.
Yeah.
But this one just straight through. See you later.
I haven't actually watched any of the the pundits talk about that. I haven't had a chance to watch any of the.
Me neither.
Everyone talk about that. My thing on it is, I don't know what the actual rule change is as well. I don't know what it's been changed to, but I just think if it goes straight to Salah's handball, so header handball, straight to Trent when he kicks it, and then he goes in. Then it's given as a handball. But because Lloris saved it, I think now it becomes another phase in the game.
Oh, okay.
So now, yeah, I think it could be that. It could be that. That's why
if he doesn't handball it,
I get it.
Score.
Yeah. If Lloris doesn't save and lets it go in, and it's Salah's goal, it gets chalked off. I understand that, but I just think what the rule is, or it might be now, it's the phases of play. Now because Lloris touched it, it's a different phase.
New phase.
It's a new phase, and then the cross comes in. I disagree with it, but that could be what the reasoning is. But I'm not even sure myself. When I seen that, I'm like, yeah, why did that stand? I have no idea.
A handball anymore.
And then like I don't know, because they gave the penalty. Didn't they give the penalty last week to someone who hit him here? Who was it? Was it in the City game?
It was Wolves.
What do you mean? Remember, hit his rib cage, then the arm. Who was that?
Wolves.
It was a Wolves player. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, it hit his chest and then it hit his arm.
Penalty. And it's a pen. So what's the? It's the
Salah stopping the ball with his hand down here.
It's one of the.
And then it goes to Alexander-Arnold to Robbo goal. You know what I mean? And then look. Don't get me wrong. Look, don't get me wrong, it is what it is. I mean, football happens, bad calls all the time. But the amount of Tottenham chances that they could have put away that they didn't, unbelievable. How did Dele Alli Son pick that on a platter? I don't know how Son picks that up, by the way. Just quietly.
Remember when I said Dele's nothing? Dele who? Remember Dele who? That's what I'm talking about.
But look, for Son to get in that position, to cross it behind, in between the legs, perfectly in his feet.
Between two players, yeah.
And then you had Harry Kane's header. I know Harry Kane's header was hard to judge. It was like in the moment.
What about he tried to chip Lloris? Dele Alli passes it and he chips him. That's 2-1 or something. Oh
my God.
And that's right. They could have been Spurs should have won the game. I don't think they were the better team, but they had the better chances. No. And with Liverpool kind of slightly depleted in the plays they had out, they should have taken their chance. But Liverpool survive another day. I mean, it's only a draw
with key players out too.
With key players out, and that's the worrying thing. I mean, we all say, what's going to happen in January in the African Cup of Nations? I think they might be okay, bro.
Okay. No, because are they going to call that off? This is Virgil. I've got a feeling they might call that off.
I agree. But this is Virgil being injured, Borcha. Yeah, take Salah and Mane out of the team. Different story, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
It's a different story, man. But look, I found it quite interesting. Tuchel playing 5 at the back.
Tuchel?
Not Tuchel. What am I saying Tuchel for? Sorry, boys.
Conte
obviously playing 5 at the back.
What do you mean you're surprised?
What do
you mean you're surprised?
I'm not a surprise. That's standard style from him. Sorry, wrong wording. That's standard style. Yeah. Jimenez. But absolutely. To see 5 at the back, look, it's working for them. They play very much defense transition football, through Son and Kane.
Counter-attack, yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it looked well. Obviously, no Lucas Moura this game. We didn't see him come on much, or unless he did come on. I didn't see him come off the bench, did he? He did come off the bench, sorry, but not starting. I think he came on pretty late in the game as well. Look, as you said, Borche, Liverpool probably weren't the worst team, but Tottenham had some amount of chances that they could have taken easily. The commentator even said they should be 3-0 ahead when they scored their first.
Yeah,
could have easily been 3 ahead. For Klopp to pull 1 point away, 10 men, key players out to Tottenham, I think it's a great result.
Klopp's not happy. Klopp is rattled. What's Klopp losing it? He was always at the referee. What's going on?
To the ref.
He does that. How many times does he do that?
I've got nothing against refs, but I got something against you. That's what he said.
Right, but you know what? This is one thing with Klopp, right? And I understand he gets the shits and he's passionate. But why is it every time it's Klopp with referees in their face? I've seen this too many times. I just think to myself, come on, bro. Look, it's a shit call. We all look. Every team gets shit
that he wants to fight. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's good for you. But eventually, you know what's going to happen? These referees are going to say, "You're going to come at me. Watch what happens in the second half. I'm going to fuck your team." Because these referees, English referees, they don't give a shit about it being spot on, right? You know how it is. They make bad calls all day, but they still come to work. Mike Dean is still a friggin' referee, okay? And so that's why you gotta hold yourself here, mate. He's a referee. He made a mistake. You talking shit isn't going to change nothing. I got a problem against you. That's fine. I'm going to go talk to all the other referees. And they're going to have a problem with you. Seriously.
Yeah. Well,
the only thing I'm going to say around that
referees
is yes. Yeah, yes, I get it, but at the same time, it also tells referees that if they're not on their game, they're going to cop an earful. So they've got to be.
Yeah, but because you can cop it. Look, as a referee, right? You give me, I'm a referee. You give me an earful, right? I smile. Okay, no worries. Watch what happens next, because I'm invincible in the Premier League. I don't get pulled up for any mistakes that I make. VAR will make a mistake and it'll be fine. This is the Premier League.
Gunnar, he's still hung up on invincible days.
That's how. But look, come on, guys. You know how it is. You see how it is. They make mistakes all day, and there's no FA coming saying, "Oh, you're in shit. Oh, you guys are making call after call. That's garbage." How many bloody English referees do you see in the World Cup?
They have to front up the week after, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that.
And they do it. Yeah. And Mike Dean is doing it. And Mike Dean is constantly doing it. And Mike Dean shouldn't even be on the pitch.
What was Klopp exactly complaining about? Was he talking about the Robbo's red card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he watch the replay?
I don't know.
I don't think Robbo had a single intention to go for the ball there.
No, it was good.
Right? It's a Kane yellow, no pen, and the Robbo red card, right? When you have that much go against you in a game, that's the build-up of it. But
plus players being out from COVID and all that stuff as well.
But when Salah dives and gets a pen and all the the last couple of years, and how many times has VAR helped Liverpool when they won the league that season? Now you want to talk? Now you want to give him a spray? Give him a spray, bro. You're the only. You're the only.
You all know. Just to wrap it up, you all know. You don't. The only reason you ever call a service provider is when something's wrong. You never call them to say, "Hey, g'day, you're doing a great job." So you know.
Thanks for my service.
You know what? Great service. Really love your service there, Telstra.
Jump on hold for an hour to say thank you.
That's right. You always call when there's something wrong. You're not going to see Klopp complain when things go his way, or say anything when things go his way. He's only going to complain. And all the other
Fergie used to shake the freaking ref's hands after the game, regardless.
The fiver.
Watch after the game.
He's a fiver as well in the hand. But I get what you know. I get what you mean, bro. I get what you mean, Kev. I get what you mean. You're only going to go at the ref if something goes wrong. If Liverpool won this game, I don't think Klopp does anything. He goes into the presser and says the referees had a good game. We all know how that all works out. But look, guys, we'll wrap it up there. There was only them couple of games this morning and yesterday. Hopefully the COVID situation is sorted. Whether games are on, hopefully everyone plays. It's not just a handful of teams. And hopefully we have a full Premier League action back this weekend. Boys, before we go, Merry Christmas to you guys. Merry Christmas to everyone watching as well. Hope you guys have a good little break. Have a good Christmas with your families, friends, whatever it might be. And we'll see you on the flip side. We'll see you on the flip side just before New Year as well, if there's any games this weekend played. Boys, Steve, Kev, Rami, boys, thanks again for joining, and I will see you on the next one, lads.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
See ya.
Merry Christmas.